Many short stories may appear to have no purpose on the surface. However, once dug into, many can display a large benefit to mankind originally unseen. Away from Her is based on the short story by Alice Munro, The Bear Came Over the Mountain, and follows an elderly couple as the wife begins the early stages of what seems to be Alzheimer's. As one can see, Fiona begins showing the signs of Alzheimer's as she is putting post-it notes to remind herself as to where everything is in her own home. This story deals with cheating, which may challenge many of the beliefs that we as humans have grown to know. That is, of course, monogamous relationships and full trust and commitment to a single person through the legal bindings of marriage. Monogamy has been a nearly essential part of human life for thousands upon thousands of years, with it being in the religious books such as the Bible to popular culture, in movies and music. Kids even grow up hearing about their future wife or husband that they will one day marry. A single partner relationship is a humongous basis of not only American culture, but an international culture as well. In nearly all countries across the globe, a singular partner is expected from people for life. Away from Her shows that the perfect relationship of a single marriage with perfect happiness and no lust for others is not always the way that relationships will work out. In Away from Her, the older couple Grant and Fiona are a married pair who have been together since they were in their youth. However, despite what on paper may seem like the ideal relationship of a wedded couple, progresses into a far more twisted situation. As Fiona develops a disease that resembles Alzheimer's, she begins to forget Grant and spends more and more time with a gentleman in the nursing home named Aubrey. Despite Grant visiting Fiona as often as possible and trying to woo her once again, Fiona is seen holding hands with Aubrey and hugging him, and maintains a much happier mood in Aubrey's presence compared to Grant's. This is visually seen throughout the movie, as Fiona and Aubrey share embraces and much affection in Grant's presence. To further this, it is even seen how Aubrey seeks out Fiona's attention through actions such as dropping his playing cards in an attempt to have her help him, all just to keep Fiona close. On top of just that, it is found that Grant is not committed to his long relationship. The viewer learns through the conversation Grant has with the nurse Christy that he has engaged in many affairs throughout the relationship. At one point in the story, Grant goes as far as sleeping with Aubrey's wife, showing that his affairs are intertwined in his everyday life. Yet it seems that Grant does not love his affairs, but simply lusts after them. At this point in time, it appears that both parties, in what was once thought to be a perfect relationship, are engaged in an act of adultery in one form or another. Grant has been enacting very physical encounters, where his actions appear to be strictly out of lust for others. Fiona, in her weakened mind and state, has forgotten her husband and seems to have fallen for another man in an act of emotional cheating without the same physical actions that Grant has been engaging in. This creates a tear as to whether it is even worth it for the couple to stay with each other, as it seems they don't truly love each other in a marriage as society would expect. However, nearing the end of the story, when Aubrey is no longer in the home, it seems that Fiona gains back some of her memory. She even goes as far as mentioning things that Grant noticed, such as wearing clothes that are not hers, and she knows that Grant has been trying his best to keep Fiona engaged in the relationship that they once had. This leaves many things to be considered, such as if Fiona was ever truthful in her memory loss or not. Regardless as to whether or not it is true, it does leave the viewer with the lesson that humanity is not perfect. This is represented through the mistakes and mishaps shown in Grant and Fiona's lives, from the young love to the cheating to the Alzheimer's. Through and through, the couple does not seem angered at each other and appear to be understanding and calm of the problems that they have had. This is where the benefit to mankind enters. The benefit showing the strength of humanity in that we as humans are imperfect. The idea that humans are expected to be perfect, even through over 50 years of true and perfect commitment, is simply unreasonable. That does not mean that Alice Munro, in the film Away from Her, is promoting cheating on a significant other. What the film provides is a couple who have had their ups and downs and a long history together, trying to hold on to what they still have. Away from Her shows the breaking of a marital bond. This is done essentially to demonstrate the imperfections humans have on a larger scale than everyday normal occurrences. This is the benefit to mankind because of its demonstration that through both Fiona and Grant's breaking of trust, that humanity is more than just its mistakes. Grant's giving of flowers and returns every day shows that he does still hold love for Fiona, and Fiona in her Alzheimer's showing a caring and loving person that still wants to help people despite her memory loss. To close, Away from Her holds benefits to mankind in that it shows how imperfect humans are, and that we cannot be expected to be perfect regardless of the circumstances. Between the affairs of both parties, physical and emotional, one can see that bonds can be broken and commitment can be lost. However, that does not mean the end, as it is seen that Fiona and Grant both stick through the troubles and maintain their relationship.